Bliss Yogis. Welcome to the next episode of BlissTV, coming at you from Bliss Yoga Studio in Monroe, Washington. My name is Marianne, and I am excited to be sitting with you guys for about the next 30 minutes, talking about myofascial reliefs. How many of you have heard the buzzword about fascia? I feel like it's so well known and so much more understood the importance of getting into our tissue. So first I'm going to describe a little bit about fascia, just a really teeny tiny, the tip of the iceberg lesson about fascia. I'll talk a little bit about the importance of myofascial reliefs, and then we're going to work on our lower back up today. In another episode we will cover lower body. So when I talk about fascia, imagine that it is an internal connective tissue, right? So think about a big spider web, and you know how it kind of moves and grows. It is connected to near everything within your body. Jill from Yoga Tune-Up describes myofascial, or your fascia, as soft tissue scaffolding that interconnects you to yourself, right? So going on that understanding that everything is connected to everything, if you feel discomfort in your low back, maybe it's not in your low back. Possibly it's stemming from something that feels stuck in your glutes or in your hip flexor, or maybe even down in your foot or in your Achilles. So now that we know that our fascia connects us to near everything within our body, let's talk a little bit about why we do myofascial reliefs, or MFR. When we're able to get into our fascia and work in areas that feel tight or stuck or bound up, or scar tissue that forms, it enables us to have more fluidity in our body, more mobility, pain relief. We can release scar tissue. Post-workout recovery is absolutely fantastic. Lots and lots of reasons that we would benefit from bringing myofascial reliefs into a weekly, if not more, part of our routine. If you do not have Yoga Tune-Up balls, which are my absolute favorite, because we have lacrosse balls and we have tennis balls, and while those can work, if you have those, fantastic. Yoga Tune-Up balls are wonderful because they have enough give that they can get around the bony joints within our body. So if you don't have Yoga Tune-Up balls, you can always order from Tune-Up Fitness. They're absolutely fantastic, but if you have lacrosse balls today or tennis balls, that will work also. So let's get started. Again, we're just going to work mid-back, lower back, upper back, shoulders, and neck today. So I'm first going to keep my balls in their handy-dandy tote. We're going to start with our low back. So I cinch it tight so there's still enough space here. Our spinal column is going to come in between the balls. So I'm going to start right above my sacrum, that triangle bone in the small of your back. The ball, my spinal column will be in between the balls. So go ahead and lower yourself all the way down. Lift your hips, place your balls again right above the sacrum. And then go ahead and lower your sits bones down to the mat.
From here, allow your shoulders to soften down into the mat. And we're just going to simply hold static for about the next 45 seconds, giving your fascia a little bit of time and a little bit of space to begin to soften and drape over your balls. This feels amazing even for me. I can absolutely feel where I might feel tight and stuck or bound up. Continuing to breathe. There's no prescribed way of breathing as we work with our fascia, just simply that you stay connected to your breath. If we hold our breath, our muscles tighten and clamp. So just being certain that you are breathing here. And then I like to do a little bit of movement with my knees, starting small first. Just beginning to get into the cross fiber action of our fascia. Noticing areas that feel a little bit more tender or tight. Again, just a disclaimer, we're not going in search of pain, rather sensation. So playing with the edge of sensation, you get to decide. And then I'm going to allow my knees to simply fold to the right side of the room, giving a little bit of static pressure on the fascia in my low back. How you doing? Staying connected to sensation. And then very slowly bringing my knees back towards center, and then allowing them to fall over to the left side. Notice the difference from side to side. I can certainly tell you this side has more to say to me. It feels a little bit more tender. So if it's too tender, you can always place something underneath your left knee to support. Continuing to breathe. Then very slowly begin to bring your knees back towards center. Begin to walk your knees a little bit back towards your glutes. We're going to begin to do a little bit of movement here. So simply chugging ourselves back and forth. I'm pressing into my heels and simply moving with the grain of the muscle. Right alongside your erector spinatus, those muscles that feel like ropes all alongside your spinal column. Oftentimes they can be super tight as they are responsible for keeping us upright. And then I'm going to, I like to call these Elvis pelvis hips, simply swish my hips from side to side. Maybe you have another fancy name for them, the hula. Kind of looks like I'm doing a little hula here. And then, I begin to move. So my hips are still doing the hula as I am moving the balls up my spine, alongside my spinal column. Again, it's up to you. If you find an area that feels tender, you can choose to stay here. So I found one area. I'm going to go ahead and lower my sits bones down to the mat and just hang out here in a static place, allowing my fascia to begin to soften and drape over the walls. If it feels better for you to continue to move up and down alongside your spinal column, you're welcome to do it. You can shift your weight from side to side again, bringing your knees on either side. That's the best part about myofascial release, is that you know what you're feeling. So you can choose to stay a little bit longer if it feels good. You can choose to move and sway from side to side, or once again moving from top to bottom. I come up about to the middle of my back. This area feels real tight for me, so again I come back to a static place. Again, connecting back with your breath, no prescribed way to breathe, it's simply that you are breathing. And then I'm going to get into the cross fiber action, shifting my knees from side to side. Come back to center and just let that settle. Noticing the rebound, and then I'm going to, again, begin to walk myself back to where the balls originally started. So I'm going to roll up and down my spine a couple times. Stopping again right at about the middle of my back. If you want a little bit more as you hold static, you can always lengthen your legs long. And just notice, see how that might change some things. And again, if it's too tense for you, you can always lift yourself up. It's all about your level of intensity. You get to decide. I used to say that this mimics my massage therapist's fingers the best. However, the beautiful part is that I get to decide how deep, how light, or how intense I want to be able to feel this. So honor yourself. Again, no pain, just sensation. Almost done here on the low back. Again, taking any final movements that you need. There's really no wrong way to move. You can choose again to go cross fiber across your fascia. You can choose to go in line with the grain, or you can again choose to hold static. I'm going to go ahead and roll over and remove my balls. This next one that we're going to get into are shoulders. I'm going to go ahead and take the balls out of their sack. Out of their tote, excuse me. So many jokes, so little time. So, if you feel these, once they're out, you feel that they're kind of grippy. They're amazing too. They are firm enough that they have that give. So when I begin to work around those bony, prominent joints and areas, it's not going to cause damage. I'm not going to get bruised like I did from other balls. So again, these would be absolutely fantastic for you to invest in if you don't have them. I'm going to bring this about 2 to 3 inches below my shoulders. So about right here to start. So I set the balls down on my mat. Knees are bent lower down to my forearms, and I simply begin to lower down. And again, it's about 2 to 3. Oops. Now these are some wily balls. I already lost the ball. See, this is a naughty ball today. Come on back. You stay there. He still wants to run. All right. He's not going to get away. All right, so I'm going to lower myself down. This is about 2 to 3 inches below my shoulders. And it might take a little bit of movement for you to find that spot, but ooh, when you find it, go ahead and just hold static for about 30 to 45 seconds. I feel like right now, many of us are carrying the weight of the world on our able and strong shoulders, but we store it. So this can be a really common area right now for many of us to feel so tight, to feel restricted. Maybe we're starting to get headaches. So on an inhale, lift your arms up, reach, ooh, stretch over your head. Maybe hang out here for a couple rounds of breath. And on the exhale, begin to reach and stretch your arms back down. Ooh, inhale, reach and stretch, lift them up. Exhale, begin to bring your arms down. What are you noticing within this? I hear so many cracks and snaps within my joints, within my ligaments, that things feel real sticky in there. That is fascia. That is tight. It can begin to restrict movements. I'm sure that you have seen as we age, many people begin to do this in their posture. That's fascia. If we don't move and restore that movement, then it becomes almost like cement. So right now we are restoring mobility and fluidity to our bodies. And then bend your elbows and simply begin, ooh, yes, to just make movements. They can be slower, they can be faster, and then cross over and give yourself, ow, a hug. Come back to breath, don't forget to breathe. And then switch sides. Ooh, does one side feel a little more tender than the other? I feel like both might be pretty equal, but I'm feeling them pull in different areas. Trigger points. And then release your hands. Bring your palms flat on the mat. We're going to make snow angels with our hands. Reaching up and bringing down. Staying, again, in any part that feels especially in need of attention. So I'm going to hang out right here. definitely is a tender area for me. Continue to move in your snow angels. Again, you can articulate any part of this place, any part of these movements that you need, staying where your body is asking you. And then begin to bring your hands back. Slowly begin to move the balls, so bend your knees, bring the soles of your foot to the mat, shift yourself down about 3 inches. Right around at your shoulder blade area, so not on the bone, but next to it. This is already a very sensitive area for me. Is it for you too? I'm gonna hang out here. I feel a pull down into my rib cage. So I'm gonna hang out here in a static hold and just allow my fascia a little bit of space and a little bit of time to release. And then I'm going to begin to do the same thing that we did, just 2 to 3 inches up higher. Lift your arms up. Ooh, reach and stretch. It feels like a tight piano wire. And on an exhale, begin to bring your hands back down. Inhale, bring your arms up. Notice, again, you're searching for sensation. It's not pain. If you feel any pain, back off. Lessen the motion. Choose something different, but go in search of sensation. And again, I feel that trigger area over here on my left side. And cross and give yourself a squeeze. Maybe roll from side to side. Don't forget, switch. Cross this time a different level over top. Then bend your elbows and again begin to make a movement. It feels almost like a little massage. I feel like my massage therapist fingers are working into that tight, bound fascia. Allowing, releasing. Then bring your arms out wide, palms down. We're going to go back to that snow angels. You get to choose if you want to move and how high your hands come up. And again, I'll remind you, you can always choose static if there's an area that's asking. You can continue to move. Again, this gives you opportunity to tune into what you need. Every body is different, so it would make sense that every body needs something a little bit different, a little slight tweak or variation of movement. And then when you're ready, roll over onto your side, remove that ball. Ooh. These are some feisty balls today. They'd like to run away. Very slowly make yourself back up to a seated position. I had to write down the name of this muscle because I can never remember it. I know, Robin, you're telling me, Marianne, you should just remember this. I can't. Sternocleidomastoid. All right, so we're going to take the ball, just one this time. We're going to start on the right side. So before we get to our sternocleidomastoid, we're going to start with the ball right around here. This is absolutely fantastic for people that might have jaw pain, TMJ, that take the ball, working on superficial fascia. I like to right below my ear. Feels so good, you guys. Getting into scalenes, those muscles that can be really tense from squeezing, holding our jaw, tension. Many of us store and hold and process stuck emotion, tension, frustration, sadness in our face and our jaw. We have no idea how tight we are clenching. So this should feel pretty good. So coming back to that sternocleidomastoid. See, when I turn this muscle right here, we're going to start right below it. So take the ball and press into it, your level. And then very slowly begin to turn. Move that ball up to about the middle of the muscle, again turn, and then very slowly begin to turn yourself. So you're back behind that muscle. And then bring it all the way up to the top, behind that muscle. Slowly turn. This one, the top feels the best for me. How about you? And then I know that people with short hair, they love to be able to use it even on the tops of their head. You can always take this. Again, superficial fascia can feel really amazing on forearms. Feel really amazing all through here. We'll get into arms and chests and lower body at another time, so I don't want to overwhelm you. But again, feel free to get curious. You can always visit the Tune Up Fitness website for this as well. So let's start on the other side. Again, you can outline your jaw, little tiny twists. On your cheek, all that feels so good. People with allergies, if you get pressure beneath your eyes, this can feel amazing. It just feels good, period. Lower your jaw. And your scalene, those muscles that we squeeze and hold tight. Then we're going to get into sternocleidomastoid. I remembered it! Yay! So notice where it's at. Bring them all behind it. And very slowly begin to turn into it. Just enough pressure you get to the side, again, no pain, just sensation. And then move up to the middle. And then bring your ball up to the top. Same with breath. Yeah, the top is really tense for me. Then we'll take our balls, bringing the balls back, hold balls back to your home, bringing them back into your toes. We're going to finish with a little bit in our neck, in our occipital ridge. So bring your balls, they've been cinched tight in your toes on either side. So there's two versions that we're going to do. Slowly lower yourself down first to the lowest part, so right at the bottom. So you can always keep your knees bent if that feels good. If you want a little extra stretch, connect the soles of your feet together. Or you can bring your knees together, feet out in pyramid, or lower your legs down. So we're just simply going to sit here first. It feels so good. So that space between the balls is on either side. And just release them, let go. And inhale, tuck your chin.
And then exhale, lift your chin up towards the ceiling. Give yourself a little bit of massage, a little bit of stretching. Rocking your chin, rounding. Exhale, lifting. Back your chin. Exhale, extend. One more time. Back your chin. Exhale, extend. If it feels good, go ahead and turn your head to the right side. This feels incredible for me. Just allow the muscles to release. Notice where you might feel another pull there. Just release. Same your breath, allowing and letting go. Very slowly bring your head back towards center, and then shift your gaze over towards your left shoulder. No pain, just sensation. So you get to dictate how deep you go. Give yourself time. It's a little bit different for everyone. I've done this a lot, so my fascia responds fairly quickly. It may take you a little bit longer. So each time that you practice this at home, give yourself the time and space that you need. If you need to be a little bit longer, you're welcome to. One more time, we're going to look over to the right side. You may need to adjust your balls. Oh, move that way.
Center. And then allow yourself, again, to take your gaze over to the left side. Give yourself the space for your fascia to soften. And then bring yourself back to center. Take the balls, roll them up about 1 inch or 2. You'll feel the balls at the occipital ridge, that part in your skull that kind of curves under. Just simply settle again, finding that place of stillness. Adjusting as you need to. You need to tuck your chin, feel the balls lift. As you exhale, extend, bring your chin up towards the ceiling. Inhale, tuck. Exhale, extend. Inhale, tuck. Exhale, lift and extend. One more time. Exhale, extend. Back to neutral. And then we'll shift our gaze again over to the right side. Maybe a little less mobility. Stay with your breath. Allow your connective tissue, your fascia, to release and soften. Again, you get to adjust the time that you spend in each posture based upon what you need. Very slowly come back to center, adjust those balls if you need to. Take your gaze over towards the left side. Again, it might not be quite as deep or as full as it was earlier. Just allow. Very slowly begin to bring your head back. And just settle. If it feels good, you can keep the balls there for your Shavasana. I invite you to bring one hand to your heart and one hand to your belly. Taking these next 30 to 45 seconds to sit with yourself. Stillness of body and stillness of mind. Allow your heart to fill with gratitude for gifting yourself these last 30 minutes, of taking care of yourself, of filling your cup. Notice the exchange of energy, your own vibrancy. As always, I am humbled to be your teacher until we get to see each other again inside our studio. Please continue to stay connected to your virtual studio at BlissTV, the Sugar Studio Monroe. We love you so much. Take a full deep breath in. In an open mouth, exhale.